Okay, let's go ahead and begin the demonstration involving instructor office hours, and the MRC are referred to as the Math Resource Center. All of the math faculty that teach online are required to do their office hours via the Math Resource Center. I'm going to demonstrate inside the video how to get into the Math Resource Center. The MRC is a location where, number one, you're going to visit at some point during week 1, 2, or 3 during the scope of the class to earn 5 points by obtaining a code. But before you do that, there is something you're going to need to do inside of the class portal that will require you to enroll into my stat lab. In one of the other videos that are provided in my introductory announcement, I go through the process of enrolling into my stat lab. But what I'm going to show here first is ensuring that you're enrolled into my stat lab before coming in and getting the code via the Math Resource Center. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that process here. So let me close this down. I'll come into the class portal. Before you go in to obtain the corresponding code, the first thing that you're going to want to ensure is inside of my stat lab that you have enrolled into my stat lab some way, shape, or form. If you click on my stat lab homework, you should see a screen that looks something similar to this with a list of different homework assignments that are out there. If you're seeing this screen, you have enrolled into my stat lab by clicking on the homework link. So if you've done that process of enrolling into my stat lab, the next thing that you're going to want to do is underneath your course options, there should be an entry here that says the Math Resource Center. That's what you're going to want to click on. This is not inside the existing class portal. It is another class portal that you have to get into, this specifically saying the Math Resource Center. Once you open this up, you're going to want to click underneath Communication and Office Hours. Underneath Office Hours, you're going to click on one of these options, and there'll probably be a list of options that are here to select from that says host. You'll notice there are different times throughout the week that will be available, and I'm going to scroll to the beginning of our particular class here that you'll notice starting on Monday, May the 4th, if this was the beginning of a term, you'll notice all of these different times that are available. You have to attend a session that is either myself, Michael Weeman, or another instructor that's out there. So there's different times throughout the week, especially the first week of class. There will be evening times that I'm out there between 6 and 8 o'clock Central Time. That'd be 5 to 7 Mountain Time, 4 to 6 Pacific Time, or 7 to 9 Eastern Time. So you would pick one of these. There would be an option that would probably say host. You'd end up clicking on that. Once that opens, it's going to open a Zoom session. And you're going to see, once you get into the Zoom session, it's going to look something like this. They'll have some welcome message. If it's mine with another instructor, they'd be out there. You don't have to do it directly with me. It can be any other math instructor that's out there. So once you see this screen, you've connected inside the Zoom session. You're going to ask that instructor or myself, hey, I need the code for the Math Resource Center assignment. Now, again, just to stress, you have to be enrolled into my stat lab to earn the 5 points. But during this process inside the Math Resource Center, he or she, one of the instructors, is going to give you a code. So let's say, for instance, the code is FUD1234. That's not a valid code, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the code that the instructor gives during that Zoom session or that online session is FUD1234. So you're going to write down that code, that FUD1234, and what you'll end up doing after completing that visit with the instructor is you're going to come back into your class portal. You're going to come back into your MA 3000 class. Underneath assignments and quizzes, there's an option for quizzes. You're going to click on this LP1 assignment Math Resource Center. Once this opens, and I got to go into it a different way because I'm an instructor, so I'm going to go in and preview it. You would just simply click on it, but you'll notice you will need to enroll inside of My Stat Lab as it talks about and complete the software secure practice test. There is a demonstration on how to do that as well. But once you've gotten that code, you're going to click on the Start Quiz button. To earn the 5 points, you're going to type in what the instructor gave you. So if the instructor gave you FUD 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what you're going to type into the box. You'll click Submit Quiz as well as Submit Quiz. And then eventually your instructor will go out, verify that code is accurate, and will update the gradebook manually with the 5 points earned on the assignment. Again, cannot stress enough, to earn the 5 points on Math Resource Center, you have to have enrolled inside of My Stat Lab. If you have not enrolled inside of My Stat Lab, the instructor is going to come back, or myself is going to come back and say, hey, you still need to enroll into My Stat Lab. You will earn the 5 points once I see you enrolled. Because My Stat Lab, again, is the location where you do the homework, the quizzes, the midterm, and the final exam inside of this course. So it's imperative that you get enrolled with full access to My Stat Lab as soon as possible. If there's any questions, don't hesitate to send me a private message. Thanks.